Hello, I just wanted to make this video to kind of instill a little sense of hopium for future Bitcoin price action. In no way is this video predictive of what will actually happen with Bitcoin. I'm just going to look at some previous pieces of data and try to make some assumptions what can possibly happen in the future based on some previous patterns. So here we have the 2013 peak, the 2017 peak, and then where we are at today. You can see that if I connect the peaks as well as the troughs, we have roughly a channel on the logarithmic chart for Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart. Furthermore, if I can look at the COVID lows on the daily chart, and I can develop a line of support, which then later becomes a line of resistance for some of the earlier peaks in the current bull run. And then as it starts to round off on the top, we could make another line of resistance that has a less steep slope. And then I've also put a line of resistance on the January 8th high to show the current resistance that we are dealing with. And so if we look at this price action, I specifically want to look at a zone of consolidation for the 2017 run right here in June, July. At that time, the price action looked extremely bearish. So if I were to zoom the chart so you really can't see the future, you can see that we reached a peak. Everyone thought we were at the peak, and then it started to decline. Everyone was saying Bitcoin was dead, and then it didn't take very long for Bitcoin to top out much higher. It ran from, so we could get some levels on this, it made a run of 975%. So it went from $1,800, so roughly $2,000 we'll call it, all the way to $20,000. And if we take a look at the price action during that consolidation, we can find some similarities between that and what we're dealing with today. So if I were to put this on the daily chart, let me turn some of these things off just to clear it up a little bit. So this price action, we came down from our higher levels and we had a capitulation bottom, bounced, came back down, and then we set a high of the range. And so if I put some fib levels on that, so the high to the capitulation bottom, we could see that we have been bouncing around very heavily off of, we're finding support at the 236 fib level, and we've also played around a little bit with the 382 here and here. So if I look at this consolidation from the 2017 run, where are we here? I want the July consolidation. So we came down, capitulation bottom, and then we had the high of the range. And so if we put some fib levels on that, we came down and we came to the 236 once and twice. Also, here's the 382. Admittedly, this consolidation looked a little bit more bearish than the current consolidation that we have. But if I were to match this up, I'd say we're right about here. So we found this is the low, and then we have 1, 2 bottoms. And so here's the low. We've had 1, 2, and this is actually a third bottom. And so everyone thought that Bitcoin was going to go a lot lower at this point. But I mean, the price action shows what's happened from there on out. We went all the way up and created the first, well, the all-time high of the last bull run is how we would now refer to it as, at 20,000. And interestingly, if I were to take this bar pattern from July 12th, let me find my bar pattern tool. So where we're currently at, so what it looks like today. So again, just to reemphasize, we came down and we tested this level right here, the 236, and we are currently bouncing. It then came down and formed a spring, which then vaulted us all the way up into the rest of the bull run. Well, actually had more consolidation later, but you get the point. So if I take that July 12th here all the way to the peak, so that bar pattern, and I'm going to transpose that bar pattern on today's price action. So let me get rid of these fibs. Here's the bar pattern. And we are currently making that green candle bounce that's comparable to the July 12th candle of 2017. So I'm going to match this up such that it lines up with that candle. And there is our bar pattern. And some points of interest for this bar pattern are where it touches and reacts to the lines of resistance and support that are drawn based on the actual price action. And so you could see that here's that spring that we were talking about, and then it gets us up to this high, this January 8th high that was on the other side of this range up here. And so we could see that it breaks through, and it rides on that level for a while before moving up into resistance. We have resistance test here, rejection, resistance, deviation, severe rejection, comes back up, breaks it, retests, and retests. So it's retesting this line. So it was resistance over here. Now it's resistance again, and then it's been flipped to support at this point. And then it goes up to the top of the channel right here, in which case the all-time high of the 2017 bull run is finding the same exact line of resistance in the possible future. And so we could see this, well, not the, I guess this line, it would be rejected off this one, but this line here, this is for the current bull run. I have a support line. The support line that later becomes resistance for the first two peaks of the bull run. And then we have perfect rejection off of that line in the future. And so we have a lot of confluence with this bar pattern. Another interesting thing is if I were to do a fib time zone on this. So what a fib time zone is just Fibonacci levels, but extended with a time period. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 5. And if I put a time zone period at the peak of the 2013 bull run peak and the 2017 bull run peak. So let me find that tool. Here we go. So 2013 peak, 2017 peak, and I've set my fib time zone. So the next fib level is going to be, so this is 0, this is 1, and the next one will be 2. And that's predictive of where the next peak would be. And so we have this zone where our bar pattern, the fib time zone, this line of support, flip resistance, and then the top of the lifetime price channel for Bitcoin, we have this zone of confluence. Now it's not a small zone per se, but it is something that we could box in and say this is an area of interest for us to find the peak of this current bull run. And so if we analyze that, so today is the 21st, or this is the week chart. Let me get to the day chart again. Whoops. So today is the 22nd of June, and if we were to extend that, this would predict the peak to be 158 days from now, coming in late November. This one says November 27th, 2021, but confluence for those red lines shows as early as early October, and as late as, so you're looking at the Fib time zones, as late as December 13th. And so regardless, there's a couple things that are in confluence for predicting the top of this bull run, if we haven't had it already, that is, to be in Q4. So kind of an interesting bar pattern. Obviously, again, I'll repeat it, bar patterns and technical analysis lines are no way predictive of the future. They are just ideas. Okay, and then especially this one, this is just for entertainment purposes, just to show you some idea of what could happen, and again, just maybe instill a little bit of hopium to think that Bitcoin is not dead. Of course, Bitcoin could, of course, just puke right back down out of this, forming a complex head and shoulder pattern, and if that were the case, let's see here. That would be, so from the high to the neckline, and then the measured move out of this, well, it's pretty substantial when it comes to a percentage. Actually, that didn't work right. I would have to use the Fib levels. So from the high to, let's go the other way, low to high, measured move is the second level, so that would target somewhere around 13,500. Okay, and even then, that's not even the bottom of the historic channel. So Bitcoin is potentially not in very good shape. I still have spot, but I'm not opening any new positions until we can reclaim some of these higher levels. So that's it for today. I hope you find this entertaining, and maybe convince you that Bitcoin is not completely dead. Have a good day.